Welcome to New Earth Frequency, a space for awakening souls remembering who they truly are. We are living in the time of profound transformation, where hidden truths are surfacing and human consciousness is expanding. On this channel, we explore ascension, timeline healing, hidden knowledge, and spiritual sovereignty. I share insights, reflections, and teachings to support those who are awakening and reclaiming their creator consciousness. If you feel called to truth, awareness, and inner transformation, you're in the right place. Why everything is collapsing right now is not what you think. What you are witnessing is not chaos. It's not things going wrong. It's something breaking down that was never meant to last. And the reason why you feel so deeply is because a part of you already knows. You're not imagining this. You're not too sensitive. You are perceiving a shift that most people are not ready to see yet. And I need you to hear this. What you are witnessing right now in the world, it's a collapse that was always meant to happen. Systems are breaking. Structures are dissolving. Truths are being questioned. And somewhere deep inside, you feel it too. Welcome back, my beautiful soul. It's so good that you're back. And if you found this video, it's not random. You were guided here. And let's spend the next few minutes together. I'm so happy that you're here, so let's jump right in. Right now, so many people feel exhausted and disconnected and overwhelmed. And I mean not just physically, but on a deeper level. Basically on so many levels, because we are a multidimensional being, right? I mean, just speaking of our bodies that are connected to our physical body, our mental body, our emotional body, our astral body, right? And then we have all the layers on all the timelines. So we are super complex multidimensional beings being affected by so many things around us. Like it is something inside of you that just doesn't fit into your life anymore. Like the old ways of routines and the old ways of living just don't make sense anymore. And you might feel like you don't belong in your old life anymore, or the conversations you have feel surface level, or the world just feels off. But here's the truth. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not lost. And certainly, most importantly, you're not alone in this. You are becoming aware of something most people are still not ready to see. But you are ready, and you are not lying to yourself anymore, and you are not ignoring what is happening anymore. You can see it with your physical eye, and maybe you can even see it with your third eye on the other level that is invisible. So you are perceiving the collapse of outdated systems. And your soul is no longer able to pretend that those systems feel like home, because they never were. All these systems were based on conditioning, on control, on power, on keeping us in slavery, on making us work our whole life, being exhausted and drained and paying the taxes so they can feed off our life force energy, keeping us in fear, keeping us small so that we don't question who we are, that we don't activate our multidimensional powers, our divine being that we are, because then we would be stronger and then these systems would fall, because fear cannot exist anymore if we know who we are. So for a long time, these structures shaping the world were built on lower frequency principles, the ones I basically just named. So they were based on control, on fear, on separation, on survival, right? As long as we are in fear and we fear the consequences of speaking our truth, being seen, being heard, right? Stating what we think is not right here in this world or with the people or with the structures.
as long as we fear these consequences and are not doing it, we are separating ourselves from others, right? We are staying and feeding the collective field of fear and not stepping into our power, healing our traumas, regulating our nervous system, healing past lives, deleting soul contracts that are not serving us anymore, all of these kind of things. And it is not because humanity is bad, that we are, accepting all of these systems for such a long time and, we were consenting to compliance. It is because consciousness itself was at a different stage in the past. Right? So we need higher consciousness to evolve, of course, and also to let those systems that are not serving us anymore dissolve. So many ancient wisdom traditions already spoke about this a long, long, long time ago. And in Hinduism, for example, there's the concept of cycles, like yugas, where consciousness rises and falls, right, in these cycles. And in Buddhism, for example, suffering comes from illusion and attachment and judgment to false contracts, right? It's an illusion. It is not an illusion what you are experiencing. Like what we all are experiencing and feeling is so damn real, okay? I just mean that the suffering and making the stories about it and the attachment and the judgment, that's the illusion, okay? So now, right now, we are moving out of that lower density. And even modern science is starting to catch up, right? Quantum physics, quantum mechanics. We can now understand that reality is not fixed. Wow, what's going on? Reality is not fixed, like everything we've been conditioned for, that, there's just one outcome, just one job, just one way to go in life, and it is all fixed. No, it's not. It's malleable. Everything exists in the whole wide world, or the whole wide universe, is potential. And observation influences manifestation. So at the quantum level, particles don't exist in a fixed state. They are, or they exist, better to speak, as potential, as possibilities, as probabilities, as waves of information, and they only take on a defined form when they are observed. Let that sink in for a second. Wow, what the hell? Like reality as its core is not fixed, you guys. Which means what you see around you, what feels so real and unchangeable. Because when something is unchangeable, we are the victims, right? We don't have power, we are in survival, we are not in our creator force energy. But actually what you see around you is far more fluid than we were taught. And there's something known as the observer effect in quantum physics, the idea that consciousness itself plays a role in how reality organizes. So now take that and zoom out. If individual observation influences reality, right? What do you think collective observation does? What happens when millions of people like you and me and all the others of us believe in the same structures, agree on the same systems, accept the same limitations? Those systems stabilize. Not necessarily because, they are inherently real or good, but because they are continuously reinforced by our observation and focus. They are patterns, right? Collective patterns form. They are agreements. They are our consent by compliance, energetic structures held in place by collective belief and attention. And this is where everything connects, because if consciousness can stabilize systems, it can also destabilize them. And the moment enough people begin to question, to withdraw their belief, to see through the illusion of these old systems, to see through the fear, through the control, through the power structures, the structure starts to weaken. Not always visibly at first, because the physical manifestation is the last thing we are seeing. But the most important thing, energetically, fundamentally, inner work and consent. It's not about the gurus anymore and the healers and the politicians and the leaders. No, it's all about you and me, us. We are the ones in charge and control when we energetically consent not to the old systems anymore. If we question, if we withdraw, if we change our beliefs and then put it in the collective field, and then something new can arise. This is the way to go. This is how it works, right? It begins to lose coherence when we don't put our attention there anymore, when we say, no, stop, I'm not doing this anymore. So the systems, they have no choice but to respond. And they either transform or they collapse and then transform. Probably it's this principle of, dying and rebirth. So something has to collapse right now. And it's not gonna be easy, it's not gonna be great, but we need this collapsing that we then can transform it. Because systems, the ones that govern the world for millions of years, they cannot exist without the energy that sustains them. And that energy is nothing else than human consciousness. And this is why your awareness matters so much. This is why your perception matters. And this is why your inner state is not separate from the world. You are not just living inside reality. You are participating in its creation. My powerful soul, can you feel it? It's you and me and us. We are the ones creating it, right? So we can also create the damn new thing that is waiting for us. Now let's go a layer deeper to really understand what is happening behind the scenes. So throughout history, there have always been power structures behind the visible systems, right? So what we essentially see, our government, the education system, the health system, the financial system, Hollywood, some of the elite people we see, Bill Gates and stuff like this, they are all puppets on the string. They are not on top of the pyramid. So the question becomes, who is holding the strings? And some people call them the elite, shadow government, the Illuminati, the unseen influence, the 13 bloodlines. Others speak about non-human intelligence, interdimensional forces. So what we basically have on top on the pyramid, like who is holding the strings, are not humans anymore, guys. They are not humans. They are extraterrestrials, right? They are called reptilian race. The reptilians control this planet for a long, long time, but they are losing their power because we are waking up. And we are already more on this planet. Humans are even more than the reptilians are. So they are, getting in disbalance. And of course, now they are trying to grip on their control, their power, and they're trying everything to create collapse, chaos, catastrophes, cataclysms, right? To let us stay in fear. This is their only goal. But what is different now is that the system is no longer stable. And to understand why, we need to be really clear and honest about something. The system was never designed for your freedom. It was never designed for your highest good. It never had the intention that you can activate all your potential, that you can live the best fulfilled life with all your powers and skills and abilities you have. Never. It was designed for control. Control your attention, control your energy, control your perception of reality. And one of the most effective ways to maintain that control is to keep humanity in a constant frequency of fear. Because fear, as I said before, you don't question, you don't remember, you don't access your full awareness because you are fearing that you will basically die. You know, those primal fears we have, reptilian brain fears, right? Past lives, our childhood, like all of the different levels, right? We fear when we speak up, we don't belong anymore, you know, or we got hanged or we got stoned, like everything that was happening in our past lives. And fear contracts consciousness, of course, you know, it's like a lower density frequency. So it keeps you focused on survival all the time. Nothing is never enough. Instead of keeping you focused on the truth. And it goes even deeper like this. Okay, so let's all go one level deeper because we really have to understand what is happening here. Many people, you and me, all of us, we carry unprocessed trauma. May it be personal trauma, ancestral trauma, collective trauma, or all three together. And trauma disconnects you from your body, from your intuition, from your truth, from your nature, your true nature. So what happens is you grow up in a system that reinforces fear, while at the same time your inner connection to who you really are is weakened. Not a great combination, right? And this is where very powerful perspective comes in, which I really would like to share with you. So the spiritual teacher Darius J. Wright, I don't know if you heard about him or follow him, he speaks about something very interesting. That beyond this physical reality we are living in, there is a deeper home. Because what are we doing here? Basically, we are all searching. We are in search of home, of who we really are, right? It is this state of being, a realm, a frequency where the soul truly remembers itself fully. And according to his perspective, the moment you truly remember who you are beyond this human experience, fear dissolves. Not because life becomes easier or perfect, but because you no longer identify only with the temporary. You no longer identify that you are your body, that you are your childhood, that you are your past history, that you are your family, that you are your title, that you are your job. No, that's all just a story. That's all just a vessel. That's all just something we chose here, but it's not who we are. And if we are not that, then we are also not the system. And a human being who is not driven by fear anymore cannot be controlled by the system in the old way. And these are the great news, because right now, exactly this is changing. More and more people are healing, are questioning, are remembering, are reconnecting. And this is what destabilizes the system the most. It's not rebellion. It's not resistance. I said this in another video. It is not about fighting. It is not about protest. It is not about demonstrations. It is not about against you. No, it is about remembrance, because the energy of fighting and rebellion, I mean, we are all rebels, right? I love to be a rebel. This is not what I mean. It's just the frequency you hold, you know, when you like fight back. No, we want to stay in the frequency of authenticity and truth and love, because this is so much higher than fighting. And because the system can only function as long as you believe you are small. As long as you believe you are not a multidimensional divine being with the greatest powers of all time. We have extraterrestrial DNA in our biology. We have the skills and the powers. And at the moment you begin to remember even just a little, everything starts to shift. So what you're seeing in this world right now is not destruction, it's incompatibility. Old systems cannot exist in new consciousness. So if you're watching this, you are likely an empath, light worker, sensitive soul, a healer, a medium, a shaman, an awakened soul. And you feel shifts before they become even visible. You notice misalignment way much faster than the majority of people. And yes, it can feel super heavy. It can make you sleep all the time. It can make you, what's going on? I feel so lost. My body is just, giving me all these weird symptoms. Because you are processing not just your energy. It's really important that you really notice and realize and work with your energy, that you are carrying so much of other energies, collective energies, energies of other people that are not yours. And then we are even talking about negative forces and negative energies, like digital energies with all this digital age we have right now that are, just plopping into your field. And if you don't know how to work with it out, how to clear it, and how to, have these energetic boundaries, you are just carrying a whole lot that is not yours. So yeah, to close this video, I would like to give us all a practical impulse, right? To contemplate about, to take into your meditation or into your breath work or whatever practices you are doing at home. So what are we doing with all of this, what I've just talked about? First of all, I would recommend to stop holding on to what is collapsing, right? Stop this resistance to what is actually happening. Let it fall. Not everything is meant to come with you, right? And no one is putting the new system in front of us. No one will do this because we are the ones building them with our frequency and consciousness. So we need you all, right? Second, return to your inner alignment. Clear your energy field. Work on your fears. Train your mind to the positive. And I'm not talking about bypassing, but we have to train our mind after we cleared and healed all our traumas and belief systems. Regulate your nervous system on a daily basis, right? And involve your body. Do parts work. And ask yourself, what feels true to me? What feels heavy? And what feels expansive? Your body already knows, but we have to do the inner work. And third, which is then possible and available to us, create, not from fear, but from truth. You didn't come here to fix broken systems. You came here to embody something new. It's all about embodying, right? That's why we have this human experience. We have this body now, this vessel, to embody what we want to see and create and be in the world. So my beautiful soul, this is the end of our time together, and this is not something new, or this is not the end of something, right? We're not talking about the end of the world. This is the beginning of a new frequency on this planet, but it's gonna be uncomfortable and heavy and exhausting, okay? And we can feel this and accept this because we are doing all the work to hold this. And you and me, we are all a part of it. You were always meant to be here in exact this moment in time. And most importantly, my beautiful soul, you are not alone, right? We are all in this together. And if this resonated with you, right, please share in the comments how you've been feeling lately. What's your journey be like? Where are you at? If you have questions, okay? I'm reading every single comment. And also, if you like what you saw today, please share my content with other souls. Please subscribe to my channel if you're new here, and this will just help me to spread the message, right? So that we can all work together and yeah, just help more and more other souls support each other, right? It is not about the guru, it is not about the healer. We are all in this together, like this interconnected web, okay? For this massive shift that is happening in our world right now. Personal level, collective level, okay? And we are all going through this in the next couple of years, so let's better do it together, right? It's more fun, okay? So have a beautiful week. I see you in the next video. Take care and the best to you. Bye!